Hello, welcome to day 6. Sorry about that, was on mute. We got some new technology we're going to talk about today. My name is DJ. This is Gentleman Driver's Journey. Um, we are in the process of learning everything it takes to be here on YouTube and sim racing up to a professional level. And we're still working through all the kinks. We keep adding more complications into the system. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But if you've been wondering where we have been for the past week, working in the background on some new things to show you, some new things for me to just get better and get more familiar with the sim in general. So let's get to it. Last week, we added some new functionality into our video recording. We now have getting ready to start soon video. We now have a title page, which is super awesome and cool. We've got a be right back screen. So if we have to jump out of the sim for whatever reason, you'll see that pop up. We also have an outro now. So really cool stuff. Took me a little while to figure out, but very pleased and happy to have that into the recordings and videos now. So we'll be utilizing those go forward, and hopefully it makes us look a little bit more professional, even though we're still very much amateur over here. Uh, One other piece of that is if you've noticed, I've got my phone over here now, and I am running the uh, Elgato Stream Deck app, and so that is now running OBS and our recording. So it's going to be a little bit easier for me to switch in and out of things now that it's at my fingertips and right next to the mouse. So hopefully that also makes us look a little bit more professional, but I have to get used to it first. As you saw already, my microphone was muted, so good start to that. So I spent a few days on that, getting that stuff set up and running. One of the other days, I worked on my wheel map. So I've gone ahead and created a map with all the buttons and the numbers that they are when you enter them into the ACC controller menu, and then what I've actually mapped them to. So in a short bit here, I'll walk you through that so you can see for my wheel, which is the grid MPX, and you can kind of see where I have my buttons currently laid out and how they function, and then you can see that way you kind of see and used to what they what it looks like. The other thing that I worked on and got set up, which we're not going to go over today, as I think I'm going to make a separate video for it, is I signed up for the waitlist for Drive 61's Trophy.ai, which is a AI coaching system, and I was able to get a login to that, and I got it set up. Still kind of learning and understanding how to use it, so I think I'm going to do something on that a little bit later. But we did get that set up last week as well, so you'll start to see that integrated into my training sessions. It helped me get better and figure out where it is that I can make up the most time on track. So that's what we've been up to. We've been busy, but now it's time to get back into it. Let's talk about the wheel map, and I'll show you my buttons and things, and then we'll go out and we'll hit the track. Oops. Here we are again, hitting the wrong one. Nope. Nope, I don't have it mapped. There we go. There it is. Alright, still fumbling through all of this. Fun times. Alright, so here we go. We've got the wheel up here. Let me actually try and make this bigger, just over on one side so you can see the whole thing. Okay. So here, I've got the front view of the Grid MPX. Here we have tons of buttons, tons of rotary encoders. I didn't break down exactly what the lights are doing. I'll talk a little bit about them because I did make some changes on the back end. But here you can see for each switch, rotary encoder, button, I've gone and marked down what the actual button code is when you put it into ACC. So I know when I'm looking at it, okay, I can match these two together and understand what each is, because they don't really it doesn't really talk to one another, and I don't have the buttons memorized. So this will just be a quick guide to help, and maybe will help some of you understand which button is what, and you won't have to take as much time to figure it out as I did. So here's the front view of it, with all of the functionality, and then here's the rear view. The clutch is down here, so I currently have it in dual clutch mode. So in ACC, it's actually registered as like a bar at the top. You don't really it's not registered as a button number because I'm not using them as buttons. So that's why they're just marked as NA right now. So those are the buttons itself, but let's go into I've added the functionality into this along with the buttons, so you can kind of see where I'm putting things, and this is going to help me figure out what stickers are going to go where as well. So you can see here I'm not using the full functionality of the wheel. There's more buttons and encoders than I need for ACC, but something like if I get into Formula One down the road, or I get into running GTP slash hypercar, something that has like a MGK unit or DRS and things of that nature, I have some spaces now to add on to that, so I'm not fully maxed out right now. I can grow with the games and with what cars I'm using. So I think most important buttons here that I've added that we haven't is the HUD buttons. So now I can go through the positions and the pit setup on the fly by having that button there. And then on the 7-way switch, I actually, all this functionality used to be navigating in the game without the mouse, and it was on my left hand, and I used my left thumb to do it, but now I've switched it to my right hand because as I'm playing, I want to be able to do that quickly with my right hand in the pits, and since I'm right-handed, it makes more sense because I'll have probably better dexterity getting in and out of things very quickly in the pits. We've got, okay, and then after the HUD button is the pit limiter, which we're running auto pit limiter right now, but eventually we'll need that, so that's important. Over on the right hand, we have the lights, and what's a really cool function in ACC is you can have dual action on the same button. So right now we have click for lights, so you just press it and the lights will come on, and if you hold it for 5 seconds, it'll flash the lights. And then same for the wipers, except we have it the opposite way. We have we have hold to turn it on, and then we have just push this cycle through. So in case um, the rain levels change, you can cycle through the speed very quickly on that. And then just below that is the rain lights, in case we need that. Um, the other thing that I changed dramatically is um, my lovely dash controls. So I still have the two buttons on the back of the wheel, which I can show you. That cycle through the two sections of the lovely dash. Um, but I've moved. I used to have the four thumb rotary encoders, each have a different function for the lovely dash. I've now moved all of that over to my my left thumb. So that'll cycle through. Those will cycle through the different dash screens. And I think we can do a video a little bit later on just the lovely dash on its own, and kind of talk about that. But that's where that is for now. Everything else is kind of in the same spot to start with. So that's the wheel map. So hopefully that helps somebody out. They can screenshot it, or just reach out and I can send you the PDF or of just the blank buttons or whatever. So in here I do have this set up, so eventually I will set it up for when I do just regular Assetto Corsa on my free time. That's my fun one, and then also Formula One. So that's also just my free time for fun, but I don't play those very often right now. I'm just focusing on ACC. So that's that. All right. So let's open up ACC and get in and get driving. All right, we're going to be actually real quick. I'm going to show you in the controls here. Let me. So when you're looking at a button, this little arrow here, if you click on that, this is where you can use extended input. So you can set the time for how long you want to press the button to get a secondary function. So this is really cool if you don't have a lot of buttons that you need some extra functions for, and want to be able to quickly get to them. One caveat to this is that if you're using two functions, put the one with the extended input in there first, because if you do it the other way, it will cancel out, because the quick press, like the initial press, will take precedent over as a new input. So put the extended one in there first before you put in the initial press that you want. So just know, but that's how that works, which is really cool. And this is the one I worked on. Is this the one that, just make sure I'm on those controls, and I think I am. Okay. Alright, so we're not going to do a cold race today. I want to just get out on the track and just focus on getting more consistent laps. I did watch a video over the weekend of how to better set up the clutch. As if you've been watching, you know that I've been really struggling with the clutch in this Reiter Lamborghini. So hopefully we can get it set up better with this new method. And then I just want to do some laps and just get more consistency and really focus on my braking points and understand understanding what the car is doing going in to the corners at the apex and coming out, as well as make a few adjustments, which will, once we get out driving, I'll talk about also, because I watch some more YouTube videos. So if you're already watching YouTube, great resources out there already. So we're just going to do practice. We're at Zolder. We're in the Reiter. Let's get to it. Make sure my setup is currently loaded. Alright, perfect. We'll start with this one.
Green light, go, go, go.
Okay. We'll get out on track and then we'll go through the clutch setup, hopefully. Oh, and then I have one other thing to show you that was interesting I learned. Alright. We got rolling on the first time. That's a start. I already feel very out of sync because I haven't been driving. Even though it's only been like, well, actually it's been almost a week, so it's actually been a while. Alright, before we get in the clutch, I want to show you one other thing. You might have noticed that my little safety ratings up in the corner now, and I'll show you the overall pit HUD is now on the screen. So I had a hard time figuring out how to move these from the outsides of my triples into my center screen, so all that information was visible, one for you to see and two for me to see quickly without having to turn my head off to the side. So if you go into the settings, it's view settings, and actually I might have lied. I lied. Let me go. It's actually in options, HUD. And then there are this left and right margins. So when I initially started up this game, these were at, I think, 20. And that was putting them way out wide on the edges. And I think, this might be wrong, somebody can correct me if it's wrong, but I feel like it's like probably like pixels from the edge or something of that nature. So I had to adjust and move it way far in. You can see now I'm at 1950 for both left and right, so you can adjust what's on either side there and bring those in so that they are in the place that they currently are so that I can see them quickly while driving and you can see them on the video. So cool tip there. Took me forever to figure that out. But once again, found a video on YouTube. Awesome things to do here on YouTube. So hopefully that will help somebody in the future like it helped me. Okay, now let's get back out here. So let me turn the HUD off here. Okay, so for the clutch, I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but it makes total sense once you hear it. So I've been trying to set up my clutch as essentially dual clutch from the beginning, but what an article I read, I don't remember exactly where it was at this moment, said set one clutch paddle to 100% and then rev the engine and release that paddle slowly till the car starts to move, and then look at that number, and then that's where you set your secondary clutch at. So when you initially release the clutch, you get that momentum going, and then you slowly let out the other one. So that's what we have to do here. So I'm gonna pull. Now I think I have it set, and I need to set it to 100% on. I have it set to 100% on my left hand clutch, which will be the one that I'm slowly releasing. So so now I'm going to go ahead and pull it, put it into gear. I'm going to give it full revs and then slowly let it out and see what that number comes out to be. It's in the white bar. It says 100. Oh, I stalled it because that was dumb. Okay, now we're in neutral. So it's in, you can see the little bit of yellow changing there. That's the clutch. Alright. So, full revs. Start to let it out. I'm kind of getting, let me stop it again. Looks like it starts to move right around 88-ish. So let's go ahead and put it back in neutral. And we're gonna change this to, whoops, 90. All right, well, 90 and then 80. Let's set it 86 to start with. So now when I pull the right paddle, it goes 100 to start because it's pulling it fully in, but when I hold the second paddle, it's going 86. So I can release the first paddle full on, get the car moving, and then slowly release on my left hand. So should give us a good start, but we will see. Let's see what happens when I just let the, I'm gonna hold the left one in and keep and just dump the right one on full throttle. So it did start to move just a little bit. So actually I'm going to turn it down a couple more, 84%, to see what happens. So it's moving just a little bit, not quite enough. So what I'm going to do is just click it down a couple until I get good movement. So getting a lot of wheel spin. Okay. Let me click it down. Where are we at? 82. Let's go to 80. See what kind of movement we can get. A little bit better. Let me try. I'm gonna try clicking it. Oops, clicking it down. 2 more. Okay, 2 more clicks. We're getting there. Okay, that's not too terrible. See what we got here. Alright, let's do one more launch and then we'll bring it back into the pits. Okay. Alright, so I think we got the clutch in a better spot. We'll see when we come out of the pits here. Again, where I seem to have the most trouble on it. But yeah, so that's kind of like adjusting the clutch and kind of figuring out where that bite point should be for getting going. But that was, what I heard in another YouTube video or article. I can't remember now. But hopefully that helps somebody else set their clutch up for that. All right. Let's look at lap times. Our fastest lap time at Zolder in the Reiter Lamborghini so far has been 1:34.832, which is semi-decent time, but I've not been able to hit that consistently. I've been more in the 1:36s consistently, so we're going to see if we can get down into the at least low 1:35s on a consistent basis. And kind of go from there. I did watch a video from Overtake GG about setups and settings in ACC, and I do know that we are running the wrong map setting. Right now we're at map 4, which is not the fastest, and setting. It's if we want to run map 1 for the most fuel and the most power. Right now we're just doing sprint races, so we can just set it to map 1 and get everything out of it as best that we can. So we want to change that. So I have map for my Assetto dial, so I'm gonna go ahead. It won't let me change it right now because I'm not in the pits, but so we'll set that up. What was it? I'm gonna go into setups. We're gonna go in here, and where can I go to? Brake bias, brake power, preload. Brakes. Here we are. So one of the other things they say. So we're gonna go to map 1 for fuel. The other thing that they talked about was the brake numbers. So each front and rear brakes have a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. And so we're currently on 2, which is, according to them, is a endurance brake pad, so it's going to last longer. Um, we want to go to number 1, which will be the sprint brake. And then number 3 brake is actually for the wet. And number 4 is another endurance brake that I don't know too much about. So we're going to change our brakes to number 1 so we get the most bites and they don't have to last as long. So we're going to go ahead and set that up, and can I'm going to save that. Okay, now we've got that. Now let me go hit up the track here. Okay, so now I can change my map. So I want to go to map 1, which is going to be the fastest. So we'll see if that gives us any more time or not. The other thing that I want to do is actually, I'm going to turn both traction control and ABS all the way down to 1 to see if I can drive with them at their lowest settings, and see if I have any issues, and then I'll adjust accordingly. Main reason is you want to drive with as little extra helps as possible. ABS is going to give you, if you have too much, it's going to give you too long of a stopping distance, but obviously if you have too little, you're going to lock up and flat spot the tires and hurt them. So you don't want to do too much. And then traction control, setting it at its lowest setting will help with not having as much engine cut and losing power, especially when you're trying to get down the straight. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust both of those down to 1 and see what happens. We'll run some laps, get started, and here we go. Right, so, whoops. Alright, let's see if this clutch helps us. Oh, much better. Look at that. That didn't help. Not 100% sure. I was a little bit loose. I don't know why though, because normally I'm very steery in this car, so maybe cold tires. Actually, you know what? I probably lost it because of the traction control difference. That's probably... really locked it up into that turn. Probably want to adjust back up in ABS. Do a couple more laps and see on these tires. Yeah. Probably want just a little bit more to help.
Well done, mate. This has been your whistle buzz.
too early. Lost so much time through there. Oh, that was bad. Lost 3 seconds in that last section alone. 3/10 of a second, not 3 seconds. And I missed my breaking point because I was talking. it off the grass in that section this time. That apex every time. Lap going in and I slowed down way too soon in that corner, but I lost half a second again. Bad lap again. started off better into that section and came out worse though. Alright. Let's hit the garage and see how we did. So let's see, once we got out there, got a couple laps under 135.5, 135, 35.7, 35.3, 140, that's where that one real bad lap was. And then we got back down to 35.8, 35.4, 35.1, 36 over, see how many laps, say 8 kind of racing laps. So we're getting a little bit more consistent in that aspect. If you were watching during the session, I did turn up traction control to level 2 and ABS back up to level 3, just to help out. I was getting some sliding and some of going into the turns, so I backed that up so that we weren't sliding as much, and that helped out some. As far as, I don't know how much engine map 1 is helping out with this. Probably not a lot at this moment in time, but we're gonna run engine map 1. It's fine. You can kind of see here. What does it say? Not enough data. About 2.61. I'm assuming that's laps per gallon, or gallons per lap, or liters per lap, something like that. But it's not going to make a difference because we're doing these little short races and short testing sessions, so that's that for now. Alright, let's get back out there. Let me do hit up our setup here. Can I change? I can somewhere. Electronics, TC. So I wanted to go down to, what were we on? TC2 and ABS 3, and I wanted to come on engine map 1. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that so that it will auto come on to that next time. We don't have to change it. Oh wait, was there anything else I wanted to change? I think our tire pressures were okay. 27.3, 27.2. Oh, it's a little high. Actually, it's probably better there. 27.2, so I wonder if I bump these up. We'll just leave them the same for now. Okay. Head back out for, let's see. We'll try and go for, let's see, my lap counter says 13. We'll get to, we'll run till 25. So another 12 laps. Will be one warm-up lap and then 11 fast laps, and we'll see what our consistency looks like there.
Got some light damage on the front of the car.
Alright, well, that was fun. So I went into the corner. I released the brake, I think, too quickly, and then smashed the throttle too hard, and I think both of those actions together snapped the rear end loose on me, and then I just couldn't catch it. So let's just go ahead and hit the garage again, and then we will go back out. Oh, whoops. now. Really missed my breaking point there. Carry too much speed into there.
Well done, mate. That's the best.
thought I ruined a really good lap in that last one, but I didn't.
Fastest lap so far.
Alright, well, let's see, we got what, 3, 4, well, at the end of this, 4 more laps. So, pick it back up, see if we can get back into rhythm. I think I need to leave it in second going through that turn. Lapse of concentration. I was thinking about entirely another turn and how to take it, just how to make it better in the future and not paying attention to where it was. Getting real sloppy at the end here. Let's see how we did here. Move my lovely dash out of the way. We started, well, we did first lap, and then we did a warm up, and then lap 14 we wrecked, so that was fun. Then we went out, we did 134.4, 134.4, 137.1, 138.9, 134.3, 133.8. Look at that. But then we followed that up with a 2 minutes, so that was good. That was a joke. Then we did 134.6, and then we did 2 really bad laps. So, how many laps did we in total did we do? We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did 10 total laps, and we really had not very many good ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 50% of those were consistent before we made a mistake. So, not even as good as the first session. But we are getting faster, which means we've maybe figured out a few things, but we're still having a lot of issues in there. And then all of these red times here too are also invalidated times, which means we went over track limits at some point somehow. Some of those are spins off track. So we just need to make sure that we keep that in mind for go forward. So, alright, so we had some good lap time. More time on the track, I think. For the moment, I think we're going to call it quits for today. And we'll pick it back up tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get an earlier start to the day. And I think we're ready to go into career mode again. Do the practice, do a qualifying, and then we'll jump into the race and see how we do in race one here at Zolder in career mode. So, um, for now, I think go ahead and call that. Let me exit out of here. All right. Well, day 6 in the books. We went over some good information about wheel button mapping and utilizing that. We didn't obviously use some of it for brake bias and traction control. We didn't really use too much else of it because we're not in a race and it's not raining or anything like that, so we didn't really need it. Um, but it was good. Glad I could share that information with you and you could see it and kind of see where my head is and how my hands are working with my head. And then we got our clutch set up. Obviously, we had a whole lot less stalls today with the clutch set up in the right manner. So that was good. I hope that information helps somebody out. And then I showed you a quick little bit about how to adjust the HUD information and where it's at. So hopefully, again, that helps somebody in the future. And then we stayed some good laps. So we still have a lot of work to do. Our consistency still is not there. We're about 3 laps average before we make a mistake, and we lose 2, 3, 4 seconds. And so we need to make sure we get that taken care of. But I think we are ready to hit the career mode. Let's do race one, kind of see where we end up, and we can go from there. Maybe we can hit up another track and start working on that, as well as continue to work on Zolder. As we add tracks in, I'll share my practice plan for how to stay up on top of all the different tracks or ones coming up in the future, and being able to rotate in and out of them and all of that. But good day today. Fun being back in the seats after almost a week of not being in the seats. So look forward to jumping back in tomorrow and get racing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.